Okay, we're now live on YouTube, starting us up on Rumble. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. Anyway, I am Xander,
King's Refuge.
and we are joined by...
Connor.
Yeah, and sooner rather than later, hopefully, we're going to be joined by the Loon himself. And of course, you viewer, thank you very much for showing up and watching our little show here. Today is Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, August 10th, 2024. So, we got the fall of Nineveh here in a long time ago. Do you want to start us off here, good Sir King? There he is.
612 BC, killing Shinkun, king of Assyrian Empire, destruction of 9...
Ah. And I see that our source actually did an update here. It says here, the fall of Nineveh to the Babylonians and the forces of Medes leads to the sack of one of the greatest cities in the world, the destruction of the Neo-Assyrian Empire, and the death of King Sinsashirikun. This date is approximate. So, this is not concreted in stone, but this is the general consensus of when this event happened. So that's pretty cool. Like that's a lot more meat, as I like to say, than what we had prior on the actual script. What else do we got here?
In 70s, Second Temple in Jerusalem set on fire by Roman army under Titus during the capture of city.
Another approximate date. Okay. Oh. I mean, it's 2024. We're talking about 612 BC in the year 70. That's a long time ago. The fact that we even know something happened is amazing. If we can approximate the date, that's awesome. I don't know. I find it, really cool. What else do we got?
1610 in Islam, the traditional date of Laylat al-Qadr, when Muhammad began to receive the Quran.
All right, and another example here. They did another update, the same article, because as you know, I do the research writing the day prior, so what you just read is what it said yesterday. But now it says here, this is the traditional date of Laylat al-Qadr, Night of Power, when Muslims believe the Quran is first sent down from heaven to the world and revealed to the Islamic prophet Muhammad. Wow. So I'm going to have to add that here and do some editing at some point in the future. Going to move on up here to 843. We have the Treaty of Verdun. Brothers Lotharius I, Louis the German, and Charles the Bald divided France. Huh. 955, the Battle of Lechfeld. Otto I, king of the Germans, defeated the Hungarians, ending 50 years of Magyar invasion of Western Europe. Wow. So they were trying to invade for 50 years, half a century. And, now they're back and solidified. The year 991, we have the Battle of Malden. English, led by Brynhildt, confronted a band of inland raiding Vikings near Malden in Essex. The English were defeated, and the story was immortalized in a well-known poem. I wonder what that poem was. Moving on up into 1346, Majorcan explorer Jean Ferrer set sail to find the legendary River of Gold along the West African coast, only to disappear without a trace. So I wonder what happened. Did his boat sink or whatnot? Have we found his shipwreck, if even possible? Oh, I don't know. 1461, Alfonso Ed Espina, Bishop of Osma, urges for an inquisition in Spain. I guess nobody saw that coming. Spanish Inquisition. 1497, John Cabot told King Henry VII of his trip to Asia, quote-unquote, his trip to Asia. And I believe that's actually into the American, land masses and all that stuff. They didn't know that there was a whole continent there. They thought that they just went on the other side. 1500, Portuguese sea captain Diego Diaz was the first European to sight Madagascar. Hey. All right. 1566, Protestant iconoclasm Beldenstorm began in European Low Countries. What does that even mean? Protestant icon. What is an iconoclasm? But what is this? Let me look this up here really quick. The entire, not the entire article, but at least a portion of it. Okay, Storm. What is this? In German, roughly translatable from both languages as attack on the images or statues, are terms used for outbreaks of destruction of religious images that occurred in Europe in the 16th century, known in English as the Great Iconoclasm or Iconoclastic Fury, and in French as the Furie Iconoclaste. During these spates of iconoclasm, Catholic art and many forms of church fittings and decorations were destroyed in unofficial or mob actions by Calvinist Protestant crowds as part of the Protestant Reformation. Most of the destruction was of art in churches and public places. Wow, so Christianity has been under attack since the very start.
Oh, way back, yep.
Yeah. And welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Golden Loon here.
Yeah. By the way, I hope you don't mind, but, since you don't seem to mind popping on camera every so often, I'm just going to have us fixed in the thing. Do you see yourself?
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, I was, respecting your privacy and all that stuff, but...
No.
Yeah.
It makes no difference.
All right.
You want to break a camera? I don't care. It's your camera.
Yeah, well, it is a series of mirrors, But hey, if I haven't
It's
done...
an illusion.
Yeah. But good Sir King, welcome back. You too. You drinking your protein shake?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you throw out that sugary one, or are you just gonna save that for later?
I'm throwing them out there. It's too much sugar.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I just hate wasting money in any way. So. But yeah. What do we got here in 1585?
1585, English Queen Elizabeth I signs Treaty of Non-Such Aid for Netherlands.
So I wonder why they're aiding the Netherlands in 1585. I mean, I don't know much of European history, so I wonder if that was some kind of war or something that ravaged them. If Netherlands was an ally, I don't know all the intricacies.
I don't either.
So,
I know very little. I probably know less than you.
Well, that's a really low bar. I mean, I know a decent amount, but I'm not really that knowledgeable. I'm just a generalized historian for the most part. That's
why we're here, to learn this stuff.
Yeah. With the my focus was World War II. That's what really got me into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Many historians that's what got them into history is World War II. Big thing.
Whatever. Some particular instance. Or
well, of course,
could be Vietnam, could be one.
Well, yeah, but in a general sense,
yeah.
Many historians specifically got into it, like how I did through World War II.
Age-wise, that's the most prominent. Time in history to intrigue people.
I'm talking about recently,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway, we got one here in 1622. 1628 that's coming up is pretty hilarious, though.
1622, John Mason Fernando Gorges receives a land patent of province of Maine.
So, I don't know what a land patent is.
What is that?
How do you patent land?
It's almost like a land grant, I would think, something like that, but I've never heard that term before.
Land patent is a form of letters patent assigning official ownership of a particular tract of land that has gone through various legally prescribed processes like surveying and documentation, followed by the letters signing, sealing, and publishing in public records made by a sovereign entity. While land patents are still issued by governments to indicate property is privately held, they are also often used by sovereign citizens and similar groups on illegitimate attempts to gain unlawful possession of property or avoid taxes and foreclosure. So basically, this guy owned Maine. It sounds like.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I wonder if that was his main source of income.
Yeah.
Not even a boo? Come on.
I'm just used to you.
Oh man, that must suck to be you then.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, this next one though, don't get me wrong, 30 people died, and that's sad, but the story behind this is what I find amusing. Go for it.
1628, Swedish warship Vasa sinks in Stockholm, killing 30.
So basically, if this is the same ship that I'm thinking of, Sweden was trying to, had aspirations of competing with the big boys, with the British, the French, the Spanish, Spaniards.
On the seas, they're naval. Is
Yeah,
what you're saying.
they're trying to establish a naval presence.
Yeah.
And the king was like so focused on that, like he wanted like this Vasa was gonna be their crowning glory, the ship of ships. So now obviously a king would not know every in and out of shipbuilding and all
Right.
that stuff, but because he's a king, what he says goes. So he wanted the ship to be these specifications. He wanted all these guns to be on it. He wanted this. He wanted that. And the shipbuilders knew that this ship was doomed to failure because it would not float. It was too top heavy. He was putting in too many guns
Yeah.
and wanting too much out of too little. And so literally right after they launched the ship, it sunk. It didn't even it didn't make it to the bay and stayed there for a couple hours. It just from how ships launch they right into the water.
Yeah.
It just kept going right in.
So the 30 that died must have been.
They were a ship crew. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
They were
getting it out there and testing the ship
Yeah.
and doing all the stuff
Yeah.
that you need to do. A maiden voyage type of thing.
I believe-
Not even a maiden voyage, a maiden test.
Yeah, I believe it immediately capsized.
Now,
so-
my question here in the 1600s, was England the dominant navy of the world at
Oh,
that
definitely,
time?
yes.
Or
Yeah.
they hadn't developed up to that point
Oh
yet?
no, England was dominant for 1,000 years.
Okay, this is the 1600s.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this is after
Okay, yeah.
the America was discovered in the 1400s.
Of years.
Well, not thousands, but at least roughly 1,000 years.
Really? So you're saying they went back to the year
1,000?
900 or 1,000?
I'd say so. Let's look this up. How long was the British
Didn't King Charles
Navy
ratify the Petition of
dominant?
Rights back in 1628?
the petition of what?
Petition of Rights. He ratified that, I think. The first King Charles.
Petition of Rights. And what is this?
Oh yeah, it was right there.
June
right
7th,
there on your-
1628. Oh, that was yesterday. Wow, you were really close on that. Good job. Let's see here. The Royal Navy was founded in 1546. So I was wrong. But
It was founded, and I wonder how long it took them to dominate the world. Another 100 years, maybe?
I'm not
So
entirely
could-
sure.
Could be in the 1600s, yeah.
Well, definitely by the 1600s, they were as we know, the British, the French, the Spanish, the Italians, various all of the major European countries, had navies and everything. But for the most part, the British, but the Spanish, were a force to continue. We all know about the
Sure.
Spanish fleet, So, but it just as far as victories and what was under their belt, the British, for the most part, were the
Well,
superior
you think of the
force.
1600s, what do you think of the Nina Pinta?
That was the 1400s.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
yeah. We just had this conversation a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on up here to 1653. We have the Battle of Scheveningen, final naval battle of the First Anglo-Dutch War. English fleet defeats a Dutch fleet led by Maran Tromp, who himself is killed by a sharpshooter in the rigging of William Penn's ship. Oh crap! He got sniped. Wow. But yeah, here we go. What we were just talking about, the English and the Dutch naval engagement right here.
Yeah.
But what do we got here in 1675, King?
King Charles II and John Flamsteed laying the foundation stone of the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, London.
Greenwich, a major city,
Greenwich.
Greenwich.
Isn't that the Greenwich time, lean Greenwich
Yep.
time or something?
Yep. So, yeah. I am about to sneeze again, so would you take 1680 while I slowly empty my skull?
1680, Tiwa medicine man Pope leads to Pueblo rebellion against Spanish colonizers in the New Mexican province, killing 400 and driving out another 2,000.
Wow. So Pope. So is that a combination of the Pope and Pepe? The Pope?
Pope.
Somebody needs to make a meme out of this article.
I think you just did.
Yeah, well, I provided the groundwork. Now somebody needs to actually make the
You
image.
put the foundation, right.
Actually, hold on a second. Pope Pepe Frog. Let's see if it
I
exists.
wonder if he ever sold pizza. Pepe.
I don't know. But we all know about Pepe. Oh my god! Pope actually exists!
Yeah.
Of course it has. It has to be.
Is that Kermit?
No, it's Pepe.
Oh.
It's a meme.
It looks like, yeah. It
It's
looks
a,
like
well, it's a
Kermit.
frog.
Yeah.
What are you saying? All frogs look
Isn't
the
it
same?
heavily
Are you a frog racist?
Yes, apparently
I
so.
think they heavily use Pepe in Japan, if I believe. So, like,
I mean-
heavily use them.
I'm not sure. Anyway, what else do we got? Oh, hey, Ghostery, welcome. How you doing? Oh. You...
Yeah, I think in Japan. Hold up, let me look it up.
What
I think
else
in
you got?
Japan, they
Yeah.
used Pepe a lot.
Cousin of King. I can't read your name because it's dotted out for me because my video software is up. But can you increase your outbound, please? You're kind of low. Actually, I can increase you on my side. Never mind. Hold on. What else do we got though? At 1743.
1743, earliest record prize fighting rules formulated.
Wow.
Prize fighting. Huh.
Yeah.
That goes back further than I would have thought.
Yeah. 1774 here, we have the first Suriname newspaper, the first Wednesday Suriname, began publishing. Alright, that's pretty cool. 1776, news of the United States Declaration of Independence reached London during the American Revolution.
Ooh.
So this is when the king found out. It was like,
Yeah,
oh
they finally
snap.
got the news.
Like,
So then it went over a month.
yeah,
Took a
Yeah.
month for it to get there.
yeah. You know, it has to, go by ship. They didn't have telegraph or mail or any of that.
No,
Like,
that's right.
they literally had to hand deliver it from where it was made to the hands
Actually,
of
they
king.
made good time.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
back when information was very good for corruption.
I mean,
For
It's
getting
hard to
power.
conceive of that in today's world.
manipulation.
We live in today's world. It's hard to conceive the lack of communication. It was so limited to, the more you get out of your immediate area, the bigger the ring gets, the longer
Yeah.
it takes, either by horseback or ship
Yeah.
in this case.
oh yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing about combat correspondence, we see it live.
yeah.
You can see it live on some random Joe Blow YouTuber with like 5 subscribers. He just so happens to be in, Baka Baka, Afghanistan, or wherever the hell he's at, and there's,
Yeah.
true. But it started all the way back in the Civil War, where it took weeks. To publish the news of a battle, but that's
Yeah.
pretty much instant back in that time.
Yeah,
and
that
it
was
really
quick.
didn't. It got its combat correspondence and all that stuff really got its major hit during the Vietnam era. As you know, that's when everybody. It's essentially live. You see the video. Like, it's one thing to read about it in the newspaper, but you see all the blood and the gore and the viscera on the screen in front of you. Now civilians are seeing what soldiers only used to see.
Well,
You know?
they say had they had the technology in World War II that they had for Vietnam, it would have never been allowed to happen by the civilians because they would have seen it firsthand, the blood and gore and everything
Yeah.
like that. So they say it's a real possibility that it would have never been able to happen.
Well, you can say the same thing about World War One, Civil War, like any war. Nobody wants war. Nobody wants this violence.
But speaking of communications, even World War II, especially the Pacific front, they were hiding out there. Where could we slip ships in and they'd never notice? It's hard to imagine that.
What exactly?
We didn't quite know when where the Japanese were.
The
coming
fog
out,
of war. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, coming out, and Pearl Harbor resulted from that because you didn't have the technology to.
Yeah, we
and
don't have satellites or any of that,
They tried
yeah.
to use illusions to make you think they're over here, but they really went there. That was World War II.
Yeah. I see Ghost is commenting in the YouTube. Good day, Xander in chat. Hello, King, Ghostery. Let's see here. What else do we got? 17. Actually, where were we at? Okay, we got there. We got 270.92s if King wants to take those.
1792, papers from Turley's Palace proving the Comité de Mirabeau had secret dealings with the court are revealed.
I have no idea what that is, but things like this make the cut into the show because Like, maybe this is historically significant. Maybe somebody someday watching the show will be like, oh yeah, this is about la 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 la. It's just like, maybe this was like some kind of like major thing back then. Because like, it doesn't matter if something is 1 year old or 1,000 years old. If it's historically significant,
Oh, absolutely.
it needs to be like, it needs to be remembered. It needs to be known.
It needs to be exposed.
Yeah.
So we remember.
I mean, like what's the official and unofficial motto of the Omni Coalition? Ensuring tomorrow doesn't become yesterday.
Yeah.
It says the Comte, or however you say that, was a French writer.
Oh. Okay.
So the probably meaning he was pretty important back then.
Okay, so do you think that might be a title or something?
Yeah. Yeah, Comte de Mirabeau. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Mirabeau?
Yeah.
Alright, oh, here we go. Honoré Gabriel Riquete Comte de Mirabeau was a French writer, orator, statesman, and a prominent figure in the early stages of the French Revolution. Well, there we go. He had secret dealings with the court, so this is big. This is a scandal. Like,
secret dealings with the court. That seems ominous.
I know, right?
Oh, are we back in our time?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, history.
Welcome to FISA. FISA court.
Yikes. Well, speaking of revolutionaries, what else do we got here? I think these tie in, maybe.
1774, Suriname newspaper. What?
92.
92.
The insurrection in Paris.
Going back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm off on that wrong place.
Are you scrolling the wrong way again?
Yes. 1792 revolutionary storm in Tuileries, Paris. Palace in Paris, residence of the royal family.
So yeah, so these two things happen at the same, on the same day, Okay. So this Comte de Mirabeau, this is during the Revolution,
Right.
One of their revolutions. So like maybe this Comte, well, he has to have been this Comte. I mean, look at him, part of the bourgeois.
Secret meetings with the court.
Well, his cause of death was natural causes, so he wasn't guillotined. So there's that. But, aside from his role in the National Assembly, Mirabeau was a talented diplomat. He worked as a secret negotiator between King Louis the 16th and the revolutionaries. So he was the middleman.
Oh, he was he was the intermediate guy.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Moving on up into 1793, the Louvre Palace officially opened in Paris as a museum, Central des Arts.
Ooh.
So this is when the Louvre became a museum, and before that, it was a palace of the royals and all that stuff.
No, you see the palace all around it.
Yeah.
And why they put that stupid pyramid, the glass pyramid in there, I'll never know. That just sticks out like a sore thumb. But the Louvre itself is awesome to go to.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. This happens 1 year after, the revolutionaries stormed this palace. So, this is the bourgeois is gone. Let's repurpose the structure.
Yeah.
Into a museum, something for the people.
Now, what that pyramid did, because it's all glass, it really brought in a lot of light down below where the museum is. So functionally, it's great.
Yeah.
Glass pyramid.
Aesthetically.
Yeah.
What is it that I said about that one restaurant? Like, the food is good, the representation is lacking. Yeah. The presentation is lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah. They give us this good food on these, like, cheap-ass...
Milmac. I call it Milmac. It's hard
well,
plastic.
Yeah, like those netted bowls? Like...
Netted bowls?
Well, they look like netted bowls. Milmac bowl. Let's see
a net can't hold anything. It'll go through.
No, but it's a solid bowl.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Stuff right there, green and yellow and all that. Those are Milmac.
Okay.
And that's an old term.
I'm trying to find the actual, like, what the bowls look like, but I can't seem to find it. But, like, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Don't ever have soup in a netted bowl.
No.
What is it called? An anemic bowl?
No, I just said netted, like a net.
Okay, netted.
So,
okay.
Well, like, one of my favorite sayings to describe my life is soup and I am fork.
Perfect. That's just perfect.
Yeah. What do we got in 1809?
Area of Quinto is the first to declare itself independent of Spain and Latin America, though put down by the Spanish after 24 days. Now Ecuador's national day.
All right. I'm all for independence. 1821, Missouri was admitted as the 24th U.S. state. All right. 1 year later, Antioch, Syria was hit by an earthquake, causing the deaths of around 20,000 people. Holy crap! In Antioch, that's a biblical city right there.
Yeah.
So I wonder if people were thinking that was the end of the world or something. Like,
If you're in Syria, you do.
yeah. 1831, a hurricane hit Barbados, causing another 1,500 deaths. And then 1833, Chicago incorporated as a village of about 200 people.
What?
Yeah,
In 18...
33.
How's that possible?
Well, I mean, it's been around since forever.
I know.
You know,
God, I
like
thought it'd be well more established with a lot more people than that.
no, that like 1800s. I mean, like,
Yeah, no, that really surprises me. Obviously, right there.
yeah.
I'm not going to do a fact check, but I'll take it at his word.
Now this next one really raised my eyebrow. 1835, a mob of whites and oxen pulled a black school to a swamp out of Canaan in New Hampshire. They literally, it sounds like they pulled the entire school structure and moved it into a swamp. You know, that's awful.
That's crazy.
But, like, I mean, you know.
I couldn't tell which way that was going, if they were saving it or if they were... Yeah,
Oh, no,
obviously-
it's clearly...
No, I got it now, but then when you were reading it, I'm going, which way is this thing going?
Yeah. But that's wild. Like, you know, you'd think that they would just set fire to it or something like that. No, like, you know, it's like they kept the structure. They just moved it in a swamp. And the gesture is awful, don't get me wrong. It's just the lengths that they would go to. Like, it would be so much easier to just destroy it. You know, and it gives the same point. But then again, this added effort is just even more of a twist of the knife, you know? Like...
Well, I think there's the point. You just
Yeah.
made it.
Yeah.
It's even worse than just destroying it.
Yeah. What do we got here in 1846?
1846, Act of Congress passes establishing the Smithsonian Institution, now the world's largest museum and research complex.
We've been there, a couple of them.
Yeah.
We went into the National... Did we go to the National History Museum? I know we went into the Space and Aeronautics.
I know that. I can't remember. It did. If we did, it didn't impress me like the aeronautics.
Yeah.
But we probably did because we pretty well covered the whole... I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, we didn't go to every museum. But
So-
we went to like 3 or 4 of them.
And if we didn't go to everyone, because I have no memory of it, we probably didn't. But I thought we covered it
Yeah.
all.
I'm not sure. Well, we've been to the Natural History Museum, you know, out here, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
the various stuff.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, you know,
If that was one I was going to miss, I would miss that.
yeah. I mean, you know,
Now, what was awesome going to see the Constitution.
yes. Tell
That
the
was
story.
awesome.
Tell the
Yeah.
story.
What's there to tell?
Well, I mean, like, you know, that it was later in the day. There
yeah,
wasn't
we kind of
crowds.
we were running out of time, and we were just happened to be going by it, and we thought we were done for the day, and we realized it was still open.
Yeah.
So, and usually they're just packed, and they make a line go all around. Hardly anybody in it. And
Yeah.
we just got to stand and examine everything we wanted, and just
Soak
read the
everything
thing.
in our own
Oh,
time.
it was fantastic.
Yeah. And that was after
Such a delight to have that kind of time in front of it.
and that was after we saw the Jefferson Memorial, right? Because we didn't even know that's where the Constitution was. It was like in this nondescript,
It's in
like
a
off the
building.
beat.
Yeah.
Well, of course it's in a building.
Yeah.
But like,
True.
but it wasn't this. You know, it wasn't in this like vast thing. Oh, the Constitution is here.
Yeah,
like
the point,
like
the point being, we weren't even going there. We were going back to the hotel, and
Yeah.
then we saw it. Oh,
Yeah.
they're open. Wow, let's go in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like one of the few things that we didn't do that I really did want, but they were closed, is I wanted to go in and check out Ford's Theater.
Oh, I did too. And
Yeah.
we were right around the corner from
We
the
walked
hotel.
right by it.
Many times.
Yeah.
Because our hotel was right around the corner.
Yeah.
And I mean right around the corner. But the problem was it didn't open till later, and we were already gone during the day because
Yeah.
every day counted where you were going to go.
Yeah.
And then we'd get back too late.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to go there too.
Yeah, but like we were in proximity to where Lincoln got shot.
Yeah.
Like, so that's crazy. But what else do we got here? 1856.
1856 hurricane washes away 200 to 300 revelers at Last Island, Louisiana.
Why are they reveling during a hurricane? That's weird.
I'm not quite sure.
Like, I guess. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm putting some weird fabricated story together. It is called Last Island, so they're probably like, "Hey, we're the last ones, woo!" And then like, you know, a couple hundred died. Yikes. 1869, O.B. Brown patented the moving picture projector.
Woohoo.
1869, so movies.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, we should know that guy's name. That's
yeah. Well, Thomas Alva Edison ensured that we didn't. But, you know, I'm trying to counteract his work. 1876, we have the first phone call between Brantford and Paris in Canada. All right. There is a Paris, Canada. You know, there's a Paris in Texas, you know? Like,
I think there's a Paris out here, too, in California.
yeah, there is.
Inland from us.
Yeah. And there is a Ontario out here.
Big time.
Yeah, we have
There's
Ontario.
an airport.
Yeah, Ontario International Airport. Yeah, you know, we've used that.
Yeah.
And every time I hear Ontario, I think of that city, but people are talking about the one in Canada.
You went to the Ontario airport? Yeah.
But
Regularly.
You live in California. How is that? It's like, what are you talking about? So you're going to Ontario, Canada. I'm like, no, I'm not going all the way over there. What? Confusing
There's a
each other.
Paris, Iowa, too.
Oh, wow. 1877, we have the Battle of the Big Hole. I wonder if it's Mel's Hole. A U.S. Army led by Colonel John Gibbon fought the Nez Pierce, led by Chief Joseph and the Looking Glass in Montana. Both sides suffer heavy casualties, causing the Nez Perce to continue their long fighting retreat. Yeah, the gradual, you know, attempted genocide of the Native Americans. Awful stuff.
Sad part of our history.
Yeah. But, you know, as I say, like, you know, and I'm not discounting its awfulness, but when you look at many other people who are under the foot, the Native Americans really got it off easy by being allowed to exist and being granted land. You know, I'm not saying it's, you know, I'm not saying
right. It wasn't right in any stretch of the imagination. But by comparison, what happened to other indigenous in parts of the world,
they're lucky to even still
I can't
be
argue
around.
with that. But still,
you know?
I can't look at it that way. It's just
But
a real tragedy for them. But I don't see what the alternative was for a better outcome.
well, I mean, there's a lot more alternatives for an even worse outcome. You know, like,
And a lot of their ways are far superior to ours as far as preservation of the land.
definitely. Well, you know, just the way they live, their attitudes.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
we are of this earth. You know, like Mother Nature and all
Well, there
that
was
stuff.
no concept for them of owning land.
Yeah.
They couldn't even get a concept of that.
Yep.
No words for it.
Yep. Well, that's why they traded Manhattan for beans or whatever it was.
beans.
Like beans.
Yeah, beans.
Yeah.
That boy, look, we got free beans.
Yeah. Little did they know, the white man's coming. 1885, Leo Draft opens America's first commercially operated electric streetcar in Baltimore.
Woohoo.
Cool.
Now we're going back to electricity.
Yeah. 1887, an excursion train crashed, killing 101 people in Chatsworth, Illinois. That sucks. But what do we got in 1888?
1888, New York Giant pitcher Tim Keefe sets a 19-game winning streak record.
All right. Man, look at that. You know, hat and everything. Like,
Yeah.
That's an awesome hat.
That's a baseball hat.
Yeah. You know, buttoned up all the way to the neck. You know,
Yeah.
you're out there running and sweating. And
In wool.
In wool. Well, is that wool? You know, or is that cloth? It's still thick.
Wool.
It looks thick. I don't think it's wool.
I believe their baseball uniforms were wool.
Oh, hell no.
That'll get you to walk the line.
What else do we got?
1889, Dan Reynolds patents the screw cap.
What is the screw cap? Screw cap, 1889.
Like on a bottle, you just unscrew it.
Oh. Okay. Okay, well that makes sense.
Am I right? Looks like, yeah. There, go down. There's a big one for a jar, but yeah.
Well, let me look up the entire article here. Google patent. Okay, here we go. We have a patent here. Okay, yeah, you're right. So it is, it's
Yeah.
just a screw.
It reminds me of the movie Back to the Future when he's trying to unscrew the Coke bottle.
Oh yeah,
He takes it out of the hand, pops.
yeah, yeah. I thought it was some weird hat or something. I was like, what? Because cat hat,
Yeah.
or like maybe like on the head of a screw, like the cap, like I didn't even once think bottle, like, because what can I say? I'm an idiot. 1893.
1893, Chinese deported from San Francisco under Exclusion Act.
Yep. That was leading up to the Boxer Rebellion and all that stuff. There was a lot of not good feelings involving towards the Chinese.
Yeah.
Back in those times, and with how progressive and crap that San Francisco is today, it's wild to think that they would ever deport the Chinese.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nowadays they welcome them with open arms. Hey, come on, communism. Oh, yeah, we'll clean the streets for you, Xi Jinping. Screw our residents.
Well, here's the myth, and President Nixon opened up China,
Yeah.
and
where was he from?
What do you mean? Where was he from?
California.
Yeah. But the presumption was, once they got exposed to capitalism and our way of life, they come over to see our way is way better. That was the
Well,
flaw to their thinking.
well, unfortunately, their culture is in direct contradiction to.
They used
to
us
that.
to advance their society
Yep.
into the real world's technology.
They hijacked our greatest strength and turned it into our greatest weakness, and
Yeah.
now we answer to them.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't want to get all political on
Well,
this.
it's true. It's history. Like
Yeah.
it's not really getting political. It's just how things are going.
Yeah.
And their culture just cannot work. In a
And
capitalistic
quite
society.
honestly, I cheered that when he opened it up, and I was a big believer in peace through trade.
Yeah. Well, like
Boy, was I wrong.
well, like many other people of your generation, you got sucked up into all the liberal nonsense. I mean, the story. It's one of my favorite stories of yours. What really opened your eyes is you're there, and you're seeing this hippie spouting their rhetoric. Oh, we got to put people in schools. We got to do that.
Yeah,
we got to
yeah.
infiltrate.
We need teachers. We need teachers.
Yeah.
We need teachers.
But then a conservative guy got up and they started booing him, and
Yeah.
you're just like, hey, how
Shouted
can
him down. Hey, wait a second. I want to hear from the guy too. I want everybody to talk.
Yeah.
Then the left was spouting, we need open and free speech because we're being stifled. We
Yeah.
weren't being stifled. A very small group.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm still to this day a huge free speech guy.
Yes.
That's why the tech industry drives me bats.
Yeah.
Because it's everything I don't believe in.
Yep.
They're stifling thought, free speech.
They use everything they do and project it onto other people knowingly. Well, obviously knowingly, because the basic human psychology is if you can get somebody distracted to look at somebody else, then you're free to do whatever you want because they're not looking at you.
Yeah.
And,
Fair enough.
So, anyway, let's move on up. What do we got here? Another 1893.
1893, Rudolph Diesel's prime model internal combustion engine, a single 10-foot iron cylinder with a flywheel at its base, runs on its own power for the first time in Augsburg, Germany.
All right. So the United States may have invented the aircraft, but Germany, I would argue, invented the car. At least a diesel. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
So those Germans, man.
Man. Technology-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome country.
Yep. 1895, we have the first Queen's Hall Promenade Concerto, Wagner's Rienzi. All right. 2 years later, 1897, the Automobile Club of Great Britain was established, which is now called the Royal Automobile Club. Oh, well, look at us. We're British. We're the Royal Automobile Club. Ooh, foo la la. Because, like over here in the United States, we're a member of AAA. The Automobile Association of America or whatever.
Yeah.
Over there, they're part of the Royal Automobile Club. Ooh.
Sounds better.
Yeah. 1897 as well, German chemist Felix Hoffmann first synthesized acetic acid, which would later be patented by his company Bayer under the name aspirin.
Salicylic or something like that.
Something like that,
Yeah.
yeah. So the invention of aspirin,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he's giving me a headache right now with trying to read that.
Yeah. Well, I think the headache's mostly coming from me. You know.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but I'm not going to argue.
What do we got? Moving on to the 1900s.
1901, Chicago White Sox Frank Isbell strands record 11 teammate base runners.
So he stranded them on the bases.
Yeah, over one an inning. You know, there's 9 innings, so they stranded 11. I don't know why that's in there, but what the heck.
Well, I mean it's a record. 11 strandings.
Yeah.
Which is like that sucks. Like.
Yeah, that means you didn't in the clutch. You didn't come through.
Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah. 1904. You got 3 of them.
So you're not going to do 03?
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah,
The famous Viking ship, the Oseberg, dated 820 AD, uncovered in a burial mound near Tonsberg, Norway, and with 2 female skeletons and the bones of 15 horses.
Wow. I wonder why. I mean, like, religious something, or
I don't know.
like.
They did an awful lot of conquering back then, spreading religion.
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, that's why Scandinavian women are so beautiful, because the Vikings went around and pillaged and snuggled and abducted all the beautiful women and had children with them, and that's why all the Scandinavian women these days are generally so gorgeous.
You sure it's just not white perception? In parentheses, privilege? You sure?
Your Californians coming out.
Think about it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'll live over there, so I don't consider myself too privileged. Maybe if I lived over there, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be surrounded by beautiful women.
Hey, I'll go give it a shot, so to speak.
You don't even want to know where my mind went. Oh, yikes.
That was the inference, I believe.
Yikes. 1904, Angelo Giuseppe Roncalli, future Pope John the 23rd, became a priest.
Okay.
That seems insignificant, but that's pretty cool. Like a future pope. This is when he became a priest. Like,
Yeah.
we also have the
Actually,
Dutch.
Go ahead.
Popes have a lot of power, actually. You'd
Oh
be
yeah,
surprised.
definitely.
So that's pretty important.
Well,
Okay.
popes used to be the ruler of mankind back in the day, and their only obstacle was the emperor. Like.
Well,
Even still, there's some popes that control a lot of information that
Oh,
is
yeah.
very classified still
Oh,
to
yeah.
this day.
Oh yeah, well the Vatican
absolutely.
secret archives.
Yeah.
God knows what's in there, and we'll never find out, because if anybody tries to do anything to get in there, they'll just set it on fire.
I think what makes it even powerful today, and they're nowhere near as powerful as they were 200 years ago.
Oh, money. And,
But it's the perception that we don't see them as powerful.
yeah,
That's their real power, because
Yeah.
they have tremendous power.
yeah, like it's like the power that you see seen is the power that the system wants you to see. The real power is the stuff behind what's going
don't
on.
see.
Yeah, like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all that stuff. Like, we also have in 1904, New York Highlanders pitcher Jack Chesborough ended a string of 30 consecutive complete games in a 5-1 loss to Chicago White Sox at Southside Park, Chicago. Interesting, on the anniversary of the founding of this incorporation.
I just want to back up for 1 second to the priest.
Oh wait, I missed one. So, but
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It's
I'll
not-
read this after you.
I was just thinking about that, and it sent me back to when President Kennedy was going to run for office. And everybody got up in arms. Oh, I don't know if a Catholic can run for president. So you wonder, maybe there was more perception of power with Catholicism that, I'm giving it credit for.
Well, back in the day, yeah.
Well, that was
I
still
mean-
not that far ago. It was back in the 60s.
Yeah. But I mean, like, atheism and
To me, it was yesterday.
yeah. Well, atheism and anti-God sentiments have really gotten a stranglehold of Western society over the past 20 years. It's nightmarish,
Anyways,
But this one here, 1904, Dutch newspaper Volk fired gay journalist Jacob de Kock. Well, wow.
and that was his last name?
I
I had to say it.
Kind of a fitting name.
Oh man, that went right over my head until somebody laughed.
A fitting. So many ways we can go with that joke. Right. But what do we got here in 1906? And I got my other monitor froze, so I'm going to be doing some technical work here. So, King, tell us about 1906 here, please.
Pope Pius X condensed 1905 French law of the separation of church and state, which allowed the state authority to control aspects of Catholic orthodoxy and worship. And encyclical Grassimo Offici Minri Frenchy talk.
Encyclical Gravissimo Offici Muniere. Huh. Alright. Let's see if my camera works. Oh, it does. Cool. Let's see. What else do we got here? 1907. Prince Saiphone Borishi won Beijing to Paris 7,500-mile auto rally. Oh, wow.
What?
So there was an auto rally driving from Beijing, China to Paris, France. What? 7,500 miles? Holy crap, dude.
Well, the distance sounds right, but wait, you telling me there's total landmass between China?
Oh, of course.
I guess there is. You go through Russia, up that way. Is that it?
Well, no, like you can go up through the Middle East, and let's bring up a map of the world here. Where's?
Huh? Again, geography. I guess not my strong suit.
Let's see here. Get that away. Your world map. So
Obviously, you can.
Oh,
So
I didn't want to click on France.
China, I guess.
Hold on a second. I gotta find something that's better navigationable. I know that's not the correct word, but something like that. So here we go. There we go. This is what I wanted. All right. So let me bigger this
there's
here.
China.
So China. So like. So where was this from?
Shrink it. Zoom out a little bit.
Beijing to Borishi.
Borishi is where
No. Beijing to Paris, not Borishi.
Paris.
Borishi is the guy's name.
Yeah. Okay.
So
to
Beijing
Paris.
to Paris. So I can't. Here we go. So Beijing. There we go. Beijing is like in this general area.
So yeah, we're gonna
like,
go that way.
But no, there's a lot of landmass.
Oh,
you don't have to go through Russia.
Okay.
You
My
can
bad.
scoop down here, go
I
through
was
Turkey.
thinking the other way. I'm going the other way and going this. No
Yeah.
way.
No,
Didn't think about
there's-
going that way,
Yeah.
which is obvious. Hello.
Yeah, all the way to France. But that's wild. All the way back in 1907?
7,000 miles. I knew the distance sounded about right.
Yeah. What else do we got here? 1911?
1911 UK House of Commons votes on salary of £400 annually for its members.
Oh. And the one right before it, I think these two happened
Oh, yeah.
from the same...
1911 Parliament Act reduces power of UK House of Lords.
All right, so some reduction of power. That's good.
Yeah,
Heading in the right direction.
absolutely.
Yeah. 1913?
The Treaty of Birchest ends the Second Balkan War. Bulgaria secedes to territory.
Yeah. 1909, the Ukrainian National Army massacred 25 Jews in Podolia, Ukraine. That's not good.
Well, that's before World War I.
No, that's after.
Oh, 19. I thought it said 9.
No,
1919.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1919. 1920, Allies recognized Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Romania. All right.
Who did?
The Allies.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
which I think we were still even though
Yeah.
we were no longer at war, the world government and one world unit was.
Yeah.
This is when it really started.
They're forming it.
Yeah, with the League of Nations,
League of
and all
Nations,
that
yep.
stuff, the predecessor to
Yep.
United Nations.
Yeah.
1920 as well, Mamie Smith and her Jazz Hounds recorded Crazy Blues for OK Records, the first significant blues hit by black U.S. citizen artists.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, and this is a little to do with that. I don't know if you're familiar with Eric Clapton, a great rock and roller and whatnot.
I've heard the name.
Basically a blues player. And what he did on an album, an entire album, he took old blues songs from black artists, and it was their song, but and they weren't copyrighted in the day and never made a dime on it.
Oh,
So
man.
he recorded all these songs and gave them absolute copyrights, and they made a bunch of money off of this huge successful album.
So the
all
Blacks
these
made
guys made a bunch of money.
So the Blacks did.
The Blacks did. Yeah.
Good.
That was
Good.
an awesome thing.
That is, oh man, humanity. Like, dude, sometimes they can do some really good
he
stuff.
put the rights on it for them so they would make money.
That is glorious.
Yeah.
That is
I
glorious.
loved it.
You know,
Loved it, and it's a great album.
You know, cheers for that guy. Wait, no, wrong button. Here we go. That was the absolute wrong button at first. But cheers for that guy. You know?
No, absolutely.
That's kind of
what
like the guy who went in and hacked everybody's computers and patched like an exploit in them. It's kind of like that.
I've heard about that too. Yeah. But what do we got here in 1921?
This is personal.
Yeah, well,
FDR stricken with a paralytic illness at summer home on Canadian Island at Campobello. At the time, it was thought to be polio, but could possibly have been Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Ah. So your least favorite president paired with your least favorite disease.
I saw this image on TV, which was pretty new in our house. Kids with just their heads sticking out of these big, huge machines. It wasn't this picture because they still had them in individual machines.
Yeah.
Scared the hell out of me. They were going to be in that for the rest of their lives. And I'm
Yeah.
going, oh my God, it scared the hell out. I still vividly remember today. What, I was maybe 8 years old?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a shock.
Yeah.
So,
that picture there is really personal for me.
yeah. And do you want to take the last 1920s here?
1929, Grover Alexander beats Phil's 7-1 and his 373rd and last NL win.
All right.
Yeah, Grover Cleveland.
Grover Alexander.
Grover Cleveland Alexander was his whole
Oh.
name.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Obviously named after Grover Cleveland, the former president.
Probably so.
You know,
Never thought of that, but yeah.
I would be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know. 1932, a 5.1 kilogram or 11.2 pound chondrite type meteorite broke into at least 7 pieces and landed near the town of Archie in Cass County, Missouri. Yeah. 1932 as well, the Lego Group was founded in Billund, Denmark by Ole Kirk Christensen, named in contraction of Danish words leg and goats, meaning play well in English. So Lego means play
Lego.
well. I did not know.
Did not know that either.
Yeah, so now we know.
It's a great term.
Yeah.
Because Lego's huge for kids.
1934, Babe Ruth announced this is his final season as a full-time player.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he was with the Yankees then, or wasn't he? He was traded to Boston, I believe. So I wonder, 1934, if he was in Boston.
I'm not sure. We can look it up, but like for the sake of time.
Yeah, keep going.
Like, if anybody knows, though, like once again, I'm always down to provide challenges to our viewers. If anybody wants to let us know, answer the Loon's question here, tell us in the comment section.
Yeah.
We got a couple heat things here in 36. We have 114 degrees Fahrenheit at Plain Dealing, Louisiana. That's our state record. And 120 degrees Fahrenheit at Ozark, Arkansas. Another state record. The Ozarks.
Yeah.
Oh,
120.
yikes.
Rather hot.
Yeah. But what else do we got here in 1936, King?
The first time the Olympic cycling road race is conducted as a mass start event with Frenchman Robert Charpentier and Guy Lapidelle take gold and silver, and France winning the team's gold medal.
All right. So the inaugural event, it sounds
Yeah.
like. Yeah. We got another record here. Heat stuff.
1938, 119 degrees Pendleton, Oregon state record.
Yikes. That's hot.
Oh, yeah.
And
1939, second Dutch De Geer government forms, first with Social Democrats.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
1942, 200 Jews escaped Mir Ghetto in Poland. All right.
Ooh, good
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. And we also have General Bernard Montgomery was appointed commander of the British 8th Army in North Africa.
Desert? No.
No.
That was Russia's guy.
Russia.
I mean, Germany.
You're thinking of Rommel, the Desert Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Russia was not in North Africa.
I know. I meant Germany.
I mean, in action, you know,
Rommel was the guy to bring him down. The Desert Fox.
Rommel was the Desert Fox.
Montgomery brought down Rommel.
No, that was Patton.
No, in the desert. No, Montgomery was there to fight off the Desert Fox.
No, that was Patton. Montgomery got his ass kicked by the Desert Fox.
I thought that's where he made his name over there in Africa.
Well, yeah, he got some stuff, but at the end of the day, Patton had to come in and save Monty's ass.
So isn't Monty the one that got the credit for bringing down the dead?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But he didn't do the action.
So you're saying that's not true?
It's not. No, Montgomery is a piece of shit.
That's beside the point.
No, he was garbage, but he was the British's all-star, and the British, like, it was a European war, so the British, you know, got
I know
love.
Patton was pissed at him. He wanted to do everything to Monty that he could, and I'm going from the movie.
Well, it's
so I don't
not
know how
that
factual that
Well,
is.
no, it's not that he was doing everything to Monty that he could. It's that Monty was trying to use the U.S. as a buffer while Monty got all the glory. Like when they, like, for
that's
example,
what I'm saying. I think he thought Monty got too much credit.
he did. Absolutely, he did. Well, I mean, like, you know, later on, like, we had an option either to go by tank, you know, which is his Patton, because we only had enough fuel for one of two options. And Montgomery wanted to do an airdrop into Belgium or whatever, like, not Belgium, into the Netherlands. And because Montgomery, you know, was the one always, you know, getting his, you know, his pole greased, so to speak, you know, in the media, he got what he wanted and everything. So we had Operation Market Garden, which was one of the worst tragedies in the entire war, complete failure. You know, had we gone, you know, I'm arguing, had we gone with Patton's idea, using the fuel to fuel tanks rather than aircraft, we would have beaten the Russians to Berlin. And instead, we just got our ass handed to us in the Netherlands. Like,
Okay.
Montgomery is what allowed Russia to be the winners of World War II in the European theater. You know, absolute loser. So,
Didn't they want Patton to hold up going into Palermo so Monty could get there?
you know, no, they wanted Patton to go up and go around and be a buffer between the Germans and
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so they wanted the U.S. to take all the damage, and for the British to just go in pretty much guarded and
protected,
unopposed to get the glory of capturing Palermo. Well, what Patton did was he followed his orders and beat him to Palermo anyway.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so you know, Monty was just crap, absolute crap, you know. But anyway, what else do we got here in 1942? Oh, the King's gone. Henry J. Kaiser opened the Kaiser Richmond Field Hospital for Kaiser Shipyards in Richmond, California, pioneering the Kaiser Permanente healthcare
That's
model.
what I was going to ask. I wonder
Yep.
if that's the foundation. Okay.
Yep.
That's kind of awesome.
Well, he was an industrialist, you
Yeah.
know, so it seems awesome on paper, but, you know, here we go, an elitist, you know, now, you know, being a cornerstone of our healthcare. They don't really have us in mind. So, 1943, Adolf Hitler watched a lynching of Allied pilots. Ugh. Just awful.
Yeah.
43 as well, U.S. General George S. Patton slapped a battle-fatigued soldier at an evacuation hospital cowardly and threatens him with a pistol. Didn't we already cover this? Or how did he do this
We
multiple
said something
times?
about it. No, I only know of the one time. I remember last week.
Yeah, so...
They had the same thing going. I don't know if it was a little different twist or what, but something was different.
No, I have a feeling, you know, maybe that's why they had him do the apologies, because this was becoming a normal thing for him. You know, smacking
It
your
could
own
have.
soldiers.
I only know of the one incident.
But see,
But
like,
now there's a second one.
but we got to remember Patton. He fought in the First World War.
Yeah.
And that was back in the day when
Horses.
both sides. Yeah, well, not yeah, he was an equestrian leader.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But I'm talking about the mentality of that back in the day, where it wasn't just the Axis power or the Central Powers as they were called back then, but both sides. If you did not run headlong into the battle, your own lieutenant shot you. You're gonna get shot and killed by a bullet, but depending on which way you're running, whose bullet it will be. It will happen.
They say that was very true of
The Russians, yeah,
against
definitely in the
Germans.
Stalingrad, everything,
Stalingrad, yeah.
Well, I
If you
mean,
if you tried to retreat, you'd be shot.
yeah,
I guess that's true.
yeah. 1944, we have the Battle of Guam ended with U.S. troops recapturing Guam from the Japanese. All right.
Those were horrific battles. Jeez,
Oh, yeah.
each one of those islands.
Oh yeah, rough. 1944, the Braves Red Barrett threw only 58 pitches to shut out Cincinnati Reds 2-0. And we spoke yesterday, the quickest game I believe in baseball history, 73 minutes.
What?
Yeah,
A little over an hour. Hour
Yeah.
15.
all 9 innings, just done. So
Yeah.
yeah,
50 some pitches. That's only 6-7 pitches an inning. Jeez.
that's a lot of strikeouts there.
Well, or fly balls.
Yeah. 1945, Japan announced a willingness to surrender to allies, provided Emperor Hirohito's status as unchanged. See, this is why I say what I say about, Asian cultures and just proud to a fault, and they Hiroshima happened, on the 6th, August 6th, 1945, didn't care. And then on August 8th, the USSR declared war on Russia. Not Russia. They are Russia. They declared war on Japan.
Yep.
August 9th, we dropped the second, sun on Nagasaki.
Right.
And then now, August 10th, now Japan wants to surrender to us, not because they fear us, but because they fear Russia, and they knew we would prevent Russia while simultaneously not conquering them. And, think of the hubris, the absolute callous nature of the Japanese back in that time. We dropped a sun on them, Russia declares war on them, we dropped another sun, and then they're thinking about surrendering and they don't want to give up being emperor? Are you kidding me? The hubris, the absolute hubris. You better, they shouldn't be coming at us with saying, "Oh, we want to keep our emperor." They should be coming with us as, "Please, for the love of God, don't conquer us." They thought so little of us as a people that they think, and they got away with it, of giving us demands after we dropped 2 suns on them.
Well,
are you kidding me?
It was an unconditional surrender, so we can make what
Unconditional.
They can
No.
make any request they want. It was up to us to decide if they were going to get them.
And they
it
knew
was
they weren't going to
unconditional.
get them because
now,
we're a
let me
bunch of
say
pussies.
this. Let me say this. That was the best decision for this country that ever happened, because today Japan is a great ally. So it was the best decision
as long
for
as it
this
benefits
country.
them. As long as it benefits
It also
them.
benefits us tremendously. So,
Benefits them a lot more than us.
because if they would have been conquered by the Russians, whole different world today.
Yeah. Yep. Well. Anyway, 1948, Alan Funt's Candid Camera TV debut on ABC. Remember that?
Alan Funt. Is it Funt? F-U-N-T?
Funt,
or something?
yeah.
Funt. Yeah, Alan Funt. Yep. Cannon Camera. Boy, that was a big show for this day.
Yeah.
And what year did that start?
48.
Wow.
Now that,
Way before I ever saw it.
now that,
I had to
makes
see it in the 50s somewhere.
that makes you wonder, when the law, because in California state law, it is illegal to record somebody in any way without their knowledge or consent. So that makes you wonder, when was that law enacted, and was Candid Camera ever in California? Because under that law, it could not operate.
Well, when was the law?
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
When was that law implemented
Yeah.
and all that stuff? And I could look it up, but we're already after our first hour here. So, moving on up to 1950, Sunset Boulevard, American film noir, directed by Billy Wilder and starring William Holden and Gloria Swanson, premiered at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. And I mainly bring up these old movies for you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've seen Sunset Boulevard or know of it or anything like that.
I believe I have, going back there, and it was like a thriller of some kind.
Huh.
Black and white.
Yeah.
But there was also a TV show called Sunset Strip.
Well, that's Strip. This is Sunset Boulevard.
I know.
So.
But I'm just throwing an additional dimension in there.
Ah.
So, but I kind of remember it.
1954, all-time great English hockey. Okay, let me restart. 1954, all-time great English jockey Sir Gordon Richards retired from the saddle with British record 4,870 winning rides. So those are his winning.
Yeah.
Not just his total rides, his winning.
Yeah, his winning rides.
Wow. 54 as well, at Messina, New York, the groundbreaking ceremony for the St. Lawrence Seaway was held. I don't know what that is, but that sounds pretty interesting. 54 as well, Dutch-Indonesian Union broke up. All right. 1956, the 23rd NFL Chicago All-Star Game, Cleveland 26, All-Stars 0, before a crowd of 75,000 people. 26-0.
What are they playing in December for?
It's not December.
I'm sorry,
What the hell?
in August. What are they playing in August for? December would make more sense.
Oh,
What are they doing in August? Playing an All-Star game.
I don't know.
This is preseason right now. They're starting. Now it's probably earlier now than it was
Yeah.
then. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's how things were back then. I'm not sure. I mean, you were around.
I remember watching football, but I don't remember anything. Yeah, I love football.
Yeah. 1960, Discover 13 was launched into orbit. It returned the first object from space. 1960. So the first.
Yeah.
So before moon rocks and all that stuff, the first object from space. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
We also have a Los Angeles premiere of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, starring Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. I know of this movie.
Janet Leigh, yeah.
Yeah.
Her Scream or whatever it is. She's known for that.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah. The shower scene.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, wink. Yeah.
Famous. 61, the UK applied for membership of the European Common Market, which is kind of funny how they pulled themselves out of it. So, Brexit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And my camera focusing and auto-focusing and all that stuff is driving me crazy. So I need to, actually, hold on a second. Configure video. Well, I want to let me, there we go.
Now, was the
All right.
common market well, we don't have time to look it up, but I wonder if that's where the euro was originally introduced.
I believe so. Because it is for, all of European.
Yeah.
The European Common Market, the euro.
Yeah.
I would presume you're right with that. 1966, NASA launched Lunar Orbiter 1 to the moon to photograph lunar surfaces. All right. 68, race riots in Miami, Chicago, and Little Rock. That is a wide stretch of land.
Well, everybody knows the Little Rock.
Oh, I didn't.
No?
Oh. No, was that...
The governor there went up and wouldn't allow a black kid to go
Oh,
to school
yeah,
there.
well, yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, no, I know it is, but still, Little Rock's kind of known
Arkansas,
for
that's right. Now I remember.
Yeah.
Put the city to the state, then I'll remember it.
Yeah.
Chicago is, of course, in Illinois. Miami is, of course, in Florida. Little Rock, I forgot, was in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Oh. 1 year later, Don Sutton broke his 13th game losing streak to the Cubs with a 4-2 win. All right. No longer a loser.
13-game losing streak. Wow.
Yeah.
He was a good pitcher, too.
Yeah.
Not during that span, apparently.
We also have 1970, British Home Security. Reginald Malding threatened to impose direct rule on Northern Ireland if the agreed reform measures are not carried out. Huh. All right. 70 as well, Jim Morrison's trial for lewd and lascivious behavior began in Miami, Florida. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh. If the shoe fits. 1971, 16 baseball researchers formed the Society for American Baseball Research. All right. Oh. I wonder if this is where Moneyball, really first started. Like, they're putting, numbers to things, and they start figuring out how to make, better money, bean counting, as they say. You've heard of the movie Moneyball,
Of course.
And all that stuff.
I've seen it.
We have another comment from Miss Casper here. Babe Ruth played his last season as New York Yankees in 1934.
Oh, so he is a Yankee.
So to answer your question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ghost. We also have in 71. Here we go. During the intermediate to the internment roundup, internment, I guess so. During the internment roundup operation in West Belfast, the parachute regiment killed 11 unarmed civilians in what became known as the Ballymurphy massacre. Yikes! What happened there?
Don't know.
Parachute regiment. What's happening? Why are we What's parachuting into Belfast in 1971? What's happening? Like,
I don't know.
we also have the Twins. Harmon Killebrew is 10th to amass 500 home runs and added his 501st.
Yep.
All right.
Harmon Killebrew. Yep.
72, a 1 million kilogram meteorite grazed the atmosphere above Canada. Ooh. Goes whoosh.
Yeah.
Like, now, that's not a near miss. That's a near hit. Because a near miss, suggests impact.
Didn't quite
They nearly
miss, you
missed.
hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, George Carlin.
Yep. 1972 as well, the Great Fireball, a rare daylight meteor seen from Utah, U.S. to Alberta, Canada, passed 35 miles from Earth's surface. What?
So, what was it again?
The Great Fireball. A rare daylight meteor, so burning it up
Just
in
burning
atmosphere.
up in atmosphere, okay.
35 miles above the surface. That is,
Close.
yeah, like, you can almost touch it at 35 miles. Not literally, but, that's close.
I think you'd get burned.
Yeah. 1973, we have the first Bay Area Rapid Transit BART train travels through the Transbay Tube to Montgomery Street Station.
Yeah, been on that. Went just so I could go into the bay. Went over to Oakland.
Yep. H-R-O-U-G-H. I don't know why people can't spell through correctly. 1975, David Frost purchased exclusive rights to interview former U.S. President Richard Nixon. So, all right. That's
What year? 75.
75. That's a strange picture of this guy.
So when did he step down as president?
Well, before this. I think we spoke about his resignation just a few days ago.
I can't remember the date, though. What year? Doesn't matter. Move on.
Well, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Nixon, candidacy. Nixon name is Henry Kissinger. Yada yada. Well, Nixon has a lot of stuff in here. Okay. Made first public.
Should be down there when he resigned.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So August 9th, so it was yesterday, Richard Nixon resigns as President of the United States and Vice President Gerald Ford swears the oath of office to take place as the 38th U.S. President. Yes, we spoke about this yesterday.
So what year was it?
74.
Okay.
So the year prior.
Yeah.
So he had been
I'm not a crook.
I am not a crook. So a year and a day
Yeah.
after his resignation, to answer your question. 76, provisional Irish Republican Army volunteer was shot dead by the British Army as he drove in Belfast. His car was out of control and killed 3 children, sparking peace rallies throughout the month by the Peace People. So, yikes.
Yeah.
77, about 100 white sympathizers joined evicted black squatters in a protest against the demolition of shanty dwellings outside Cape Town in South Africa. I mean, it's their home. Leave them alone.
Well,
but
how accurate is it? Were they actually squatters or weren't they?
Well, I would say they were squatters. They were homeless. They were living in shanties.
I got that. So rather than just tearing it down, let's see if we can do something. Move them off the property, but what can we do to provide? But that wasn't the mentality in the 70s for sure.
It's not even the mentality today. People still don't realize that homelessness is not the problem. It is a result of a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So. Yo, King, welcome back. What happened? You vanished.
Yeah. Had to go do something.
Okay. 1977. What do we got here? Phillies.
1977 Phillies and Expos play doubleheader that ends at 3:23 a.m.
I wonder how many people in the audience were still there. 3:23 in the morning. I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
What else do we got? We got 2 more 77s.
1977, postal employee David Berkowitz arrested in Yonkers, New York, accused of being Son of Sam, 44 caliber killer.
Yeah. One of the more notorious killers in history, Son of Sam. It hasn't been solved, has it?
I have no idea.
I don't think so. Uno Mas 79.
1977, U.S. and Panama signed Panama Canal Zone Accord.
Ah. So that's when we gave Panama the canal. Like
I believe
complete
so.
yeah, now it's completely theirs.
Yeah.
Although I think the actual waterways is still our jurisdiction, but the land is theirs. I think that's
We would have to have some kind of protection for that,
yeah.
but I don't know what it is.
Because if we gave it all carte blanche to Panama, they're not the best government nation, and that's a lot of power.
Now,
so,
what Mexico's doing down in the southern portion of Mexico, in a narrow area of the country, they're putting in a huge rail system to unload freight, the huge ones that can't get through the Panama Canal, unloading it, putting it on trains, and sending it across, and loading it back up on another ship.
yeah,
That's
that's
going to affect the Panama Canal big time. But with all the water problems they have down there and the size of it, and the size of the ships now, they got a lot of problems.
yeah. Moving on up into 1980, Allen, the most powerful hurricane in the Caribbean, hit Brownsville in Texas. 1981, Coca-Cola Bottling Company agreed to pump $34 million into black business. Okay. Well, let's not forget Coca-Cola, be less white. That leaked memo.
Yep.
What?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, 1981, Pete Rose, 3,631 career hit, broke Stan Musical's National League hit record.
And he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I called you during the show yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
You made it on the show through the phone.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it was live. We were live.
Ah.
But I told you about the whole thing with Pete Rose.
Yeah.
And what was it that I told you again?
I can't remember the conversation.
Well, we can look it up right here.
It was about Pete Rose, that's all I know.
Yeah,
There's something I said, as a manager,
8,
no, but as a
9.
player, he needs to be in. Something like that.
Yeah, but tax evasion. That's why.
Yeah.
He was
Went
indicted.
to jail. Went to jail.
Yeah, he was indicted on tax evasion. So that would be the cause, I believe, of him not being on the Hall of Fame, because you do not want to idolize anybody who's done crime.
No, but you still have to. This is about baseball, not somebody's life. It's about baseball.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Now,
I can't argue.
as a baseball manager, he bet on his own team. No, you're done. You're out as a manager. Done. I don't care if you were the best manager in the world.
Yeah. Now here's something interesting. 1981 as well. The Richard Nixon Museum in San Clemente, California, closed. And I wonder if that's because they opened the one out here. His actual
What year was that
birthplace.
again? Yeah,
81.
Could have been. Because that's where he resided out there, and what used to be Cotton's Point. And
Oh
they
yeah,
changed
it was a little house out there.
Yeah,
That's right.
Huge house.
Well, whatever.
Great surfing spot that you
Yeah.
couldn't get to anymore.
Yeah. Well, we saw a model of it in the museum.
Yes. Yeah, we
So,
sure did.
yeah.
So he must have had his museum there originally.
Yeah.
After he died, probably. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And but now I think it's once again a private residence.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so-
I don't know who owns it. But
Yeah.
the family state may still. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. What do we got here in 1984?
Famous Barry Decker Zola Bud collision during 3,000 meter at LA Olympics. Decker falls. Bud finishes 7th. Marcia Perico of Romania wins.
That makes me wonder, is this like a running track event and two athletes hit each other? Let's see here. What is this?
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's what I was
she got
thinking.
tripped. She got her back foot locked into another one. She was favored to win the whole damn thing. And she went down. There she goes, right there.
Oh, wow. She was trying the whole time. Dude, look at her. Watch this. Her leg goes out. She's trying to trip her. You see that?
Yep.
She's trying to trip her.
Once.
No, go back. Let me go
Yeah.
back here. No, get
I
closer.
see. I'm looking.
See?
It does look kind of weird right there, doesn't
Right.
it?
Right there? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, hold on a second.
That's the one they actually
That's the one that
did.
hit. So let me go back to around the bend here. So here they go. See, watch this. Watch her leg. Right there. Boom. Went out
You
once.
pay, you bitch.
Yeah, true.
Once.
Boom. There again.
Oh, no, that was the second
and then
one.
She kept it there.
Yeah.
Well, bitch.
That was intentional. That's 100% intentional.
Yeah.
And she looked back. And she lost. Wow, what a bitch.
Yeah, Mary Decker.
What a
Remember that
bitch. Wow, I hope she was like for life disqualified from everything. You know? What a nasty, nasty person. Ugh. What else do we got here in 84?
1984, U.S. beat Spain 96-65 to win the men's basketball gold medal at Los Angeles Olympics. Future Dream Team members Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, and Chris Mullen featured.
Now, I'm sorry. I have to say his name correctly.
Irving.
Michael Jordan! Like that's the only way to say his name. Like, that's the only way, legally, to say his name. So, you know, he's that good. But
You know what I love about basketball, and I played it obviously, so I'm obviously prejudiced. But color is totally irrelevant.
yeah.
You just see a guy or a girl out there, I don't care, and just balling like crazy. Oh, you just love it.
Yeah.
You just love it. I don't
Well-
give a damn what color they are.
Well, like, you know, what's her face? That straight white woman that the entire WNBA is just shitting on because she's a straight white woman?
Oh yeah, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. And she's their ticket to being relevant. What are you doing, WNBA?
They left
Stop
her,
it!
They left her off the Olympic team,
Stupid.
and they paid for it in attendance and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
well, they don't care. You know? Stupid. Absolutely stupid. They think they're on the right side of history, but, you know, they're not. Like, they're absolutely not. Moving on up into 1984 and 85, Uno Lindström of Sweden juggled a soccer ball 13.11 miles.
Whoa!
Okay. I mean, that gives traveling a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Now I use the drums. So, wow, that's impressive. 1986, Marquis Theater opened at 1535 Broadway, New York City. You know, I think that's a famous theater. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. 1986, Yankees retired Billy Martin's Day's uniform '1 during Billy Martin Day at Yankee Stadium. So
Yeah.
his #1. Huh. What do we got here in 1987, good Sir King?
87, Kevin Gross, second pitcher in 8 days to be rejected for scuffing the ball.
Oh, that's not good. They have the start of an epidemic here going on.
And what did he do? I didn't
He
quite hear.
scuffed the ball.
Oh, scuff the ball.
So
yeah.
he's the second one in 8 days to be found to scuff a ball. That's, I think, kind of like, you know, close together. Like,
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
To find two people in the same season is kind of amazing.
Ah. Oh, this next one kind of concerns me.
1988, Rodrigo Borgia installed as president of Ecuador.
Installed in Ecuador.
Yeah.
I don't like
Not
those
good.
two words in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Good.
Like, eh. No. Oh, and
Well,
here
we're
we
trying to install a new president here as we speak.
go.
Never got a vote one.
Yeah, yeah,
Nope.
yeah. Oh man, you want to talk about getting political? Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do we got here? We were just talking about this the other day. You were surprised about what the world population is today.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got here in '88?
1988, UN estimates Asian population hits 3 billion.
Whoa.
So that's Asia alone.
Yeah.
So,
In
Wow.
'88.
yep. And now the world population is believed to be around 8 billion. Like, you know, we hit 8 billion last year in September or the year before. I know it was in September, but I believe it was last year in September when we officially hit 88 or 8 billion, not 88. So, 88 billion people. Can you imagine? Holy shit.
I think it's crowded now.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, like it said that if you take the entire world population and have them live in the same living conditions that they do in Tokyo, you can fit the entire world in the LA basin.
Find that hard to believe, but okay.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Just stop and think for a minute. 8 billion people have to eat every day. Not all do,
well,
but
I don't even think
there's
have
a
to.
need for 8 billion people to eat every day.
yeah. Meanwhile, Walmart and all these, mega corporations throw out how many hundreds of tons a day of food just because it expired?
Yeah.
Like, we can solve global hunger, but it's not profitable. So, there you go. What else do we got here? 1989?
1989, Australia, 0-301 at end of day one, 5th test cricket at Trent Bridge.
Cricket.
Yeah.
You had to do it to me. Thank you.
I mean, I put it. I try to sneak a cricket in, and if I know you're coming in the next day, I will find a way to put a cricket in.
You were looking for it.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I'm like,
much.
please give me something relevant, please.
Bounce a ball to a flat bat.
Australia. Have y'all ever heard of the Emu War?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool topic.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's a video I saw of the second Emu War. It's a fake war, but it's a whole video where the U.S. Marines come in and they end up eating crayons. It's a funny video.
Emu War is actually like was the longest ongoing war in history.
What?
Yes,
Okay, now I'm gonna need to
What
hear
is
some
it again?
facts. The Emu War.
Really?
was one of the longest ongoing wars in history.
Why have I never heard of it?
Well, the Emu War essentially came. So, to give it in a nutshell, emus were like devastating crops and stuff in Australia and all that whatnot. So, the farmers were having a hard time keeping them out, and it got to be such a problem that the government had to come in, and they actually brought in the military. And emus are flightless birds, and what do animals in general do? They spread out. They run.
Yeah.
So the military comes in, and they try to kill enough to provide a problem and the solution to the problem, but the emus just scattered, and Australia lost the Emu War.
Oh man.
Yeah, because the emu is they just eventually they just put up a fence and everything, but they couldn't reduce their numbers enough, and all it's essentially they lost. Australia with the military mites, machine guns and vehicles, we lost to a bunch of birds. Well, they did, so
Can't beat Mother Nature.
no. But what are you talking about the longest war? Because we've had the 100 Years' War and everything. I really doubt Australia's been fighting a war with the birds for over 100 years.
I don't know. I think it was something about that, if I recall.
Well, if you can find some stuff about that,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up right now.
yeah. Well, we'll definitely be talking about that at some point. Not necessarily during this exact show. This episode right now.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see what you find and bring that up at some point.
Well, I'd like to hear
So,
more about it. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm unaware of that entirely.
Yeah, the Emu War, a big stink on Australia. What do we got here in 1990?
1990, the massacre of more than 127 Muslims in northeast Sri Lanka by paramilitaries.
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 Believe me, I have a hard time. I confuse that with parliamentaries. They're spelled so much the same, very much like Austria and Australia.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad at getting it wrong. I do it all the time. So
I don't.
yeah. Okay. Well, I do feel bad. What else do we got?
1993, Columbia Records releases River of Dreams, singer-songwriter Billy Joel's 12th and final studio album.
Unless he just changes his mind, which I think I think that's a tongue-in-cheek way of telling us that he does change his mind later on. And isn't Billy Joel like an asshole or something? Like, I've heard not good things about him.
Well,
I'm not sure. 1993 as well, we have an earthquake measuring 7.0 on the Richter scale hit the South Island of New Zealand. Yikes. It's pretty powerful. 1993 as well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was sworn in as the U.S. Supreme Court Justice. Alright, good old RBG. 94, last British troops left Hong Kong and had been there since September of 1841. Holy crap. So let me reread this for the loon, what I just read.
I just heard it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, well, that's okay. On Ruth Gator,
Yeah, we have Ruth Bader Ginsburg was
first
sworn
woman.
in.
Does
Well,
it say that?
no, she was not the first woman.
I thought she was.
No, she was not.
Who was then?
The first woman.
it was before her.
Well, of course. The first woman is not going to be after her.
Oh,
Sarah Day
Sandra Day
O'Connor.
O'Connor. You're
Well,
absolutely
there's
right.
only
Of
one
course,
before
of course, of
Mario.
course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, like I would have thought she was the first, but I knew because I've done the article a
As
couple
soon as you
times.
said that, I knew that quite well.
Yeah, that she was not the first, but she's one of the more known. Like
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
she's like the Judge Judy of the Supreme
And the
Court or
left is
something.
really pissed at her now in her death
Yeah,
because she didn't retire instead of dying on Trump's watch. Instead of retiring a year earlier.
you know how sick do you have to be? to,
That's
like,
bad.
You know,
That's bad.
that's
I mean,
sick.
she was a liberal, but she was really, really good. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Didn't always agree with her decisions, but they were always well-founded.
But
Can't
the,
ask for more than that.
the one I was talking about, though, 1994, the last British troops left Hong Kong, and they had been there since September of 1841. So 1994 minus 1841 equals 153 years of occupation. So,
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, what do we got here in 95?
1995, Dodgers leading 2-1 and ninth forfeit game to Cardinals fans become unruly.
Why would you do that? You were winning. Why would they forfeit? I mean,
Dodgers leading 2-1,
yeah.
so they were losing.
Oh, okay. How are they losing? How could you lose if you're leading?
Say
makes
that
no
again?
sense.
No.
Dodgers leading 2-1 in ninth forfeit game to Cardinals. Ninth inning, I presume. So,
They forfeited the game for some reason. I don't know
Yeah.
what the forfeit was. That when they were leading,
but they were leading. So why would you surrender when you're winning?
we don't know the story of why they forfeited.
But fans become unruly. I mean,
Yeah, that pissed me off too.
yeah, well, it pisses me off right now, and I'm not even a sports fan. You know, like what the hell? That's stupid.
They did something to forfeit.
I don't know.
I don't know what that would be. I never heard of that. That's funny.
That's
I
ridiculous.
don't remember it.
Yeah. I wonder if we have any ongoing comments here.
Why
oh,
did they forfeit?
Okay, here we go. Ghostery once again coming in with the clutch. The Australian Emu War of November 2nd through the 10th. 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day. So that's a short war. So, but yeah, no, there's whole videos about the Emu War. You know, as I said, a big stink
That's
on
really
Australia.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
They lost a war to a bunch of flightless birds. How embarrassing. What do we got in 1996?
1996, Yanks lose, ending third best home run series victory streak at 24.
Oh, here it is. Okay. We also have Darren Go.
Oh. 1996, Darren Go and Cigars record trying to break streak at 16.
A record tying victory streak at 16. So they tied the record at 16 victories. Darren Go. So I guess Darren Go are two players of the Cigars.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know what sport this is. Who any of this is. Huh. We also have New Zealand defeated South Africa 29-18 in Cape Town to win the inaugural Tri-Nations Rugby Series with an unbeaten record. The All Blacks fly half Andrew Meritons landed 5 penalties and 2 conversions. Okay. Rugby. So that's like intermediate cricket to me. You know.
Cricket.
97, the Anaheim Angels, Tony Phillips was arrested for purchasing cocaine. And that would do it.
I do remember something about that. Yeah.
Just don't buy cocaine, you know. 97 as well, the Atlanta Braves signed Greg Maddux to a then record 5-year, $57.5 million deal. Wow. Home stretch here, finally getting into the year 2000. You want to tell us what happened in 2001?
2001, U.S. and U.K. reject proposal by UN Secretary General Kofi Annan to permit the Iraqi government to use $1 billion per year to fund infrastructure improvements and to increase oil production capacity.
Huh. That flies right over my head. Like, do you understand any of that? Like, oil stuff.
That-
Like,
Yeah.
They won't allow them to improve their infrastructure?
Yeah, like they're intentionally hammering.
And oil
Yeah, like
capacity.
they're intentionally. Well, I mean, we've discovered that like the oil industry is, artificial, and all that stuff. Like they control how much can be pumped, so they can control the price of it. You know, like
It's called a cartel.
yeah. Well, it's no different than the De Beers, the diamond crap. So, well, what else do we got here?
2003, the highest temperature ever recorded in UK, 101.3 Fahrenheit in Kent. It's the first time in UK has recorded a temperature over 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cold. Pretty cold out there, even in the summer.
Yeah. Welcome to the 100 Club.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if anybody wasn't able to hear the loon, sometimes he leans back and my microphone's not the best. So, but
You mean like this?
yeah, well, I know you want to be comfortable, but I need you to be audible. So, yeah,
Maybe not. Depends on what I'm going to say.
yeah, true, very true. 2006, Scotland Yard disrupted major terrorist plot to destroy aircraft traveling from the United Kingdom to the United States. All toiletries are banned from commercial aircraft. Well, what are you gonna do? Like squirt toothpaste into the pilot's eye or something? Like,
Well, it was the liquids that they were worried
Yeah.
about, like bringing in a bomb,
oh yeah.
Explosive, not a bomb, but an explosive.
What's really funny is, and I wonder if she was able to get through, but I saw a story recently, and I'm not sure if it's a recent thing or anything, but this woman was trying to get through, check-in and almost to get on the plane, and she had frozen her water in her bottle, like frozen water, and they're telling her she can't bring liquids on the plane, but she's like, it's not a liquid, it's a solid.
Yeah, true.
I mean, like, what do you do with that? It is a solid. You can't take it away from her, through the law,
I wonder what they did.
I know, that's what I was saying. I don't know what they did.
Yeah, I'm saying, I wonder what they did.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure if it was, like, recent happening or, just bringing it up from history for a meme or something. I'm not sure. But, hey, technicalities. So, 2013, 6 people were killed after Plawa volcano erupted in Indonesia. Yeah. Yep. 2014, Israeli and Palestinian officials agreed to another 72-hour ceasefire proposed by Egypt. So more about that stuff. 2014 as well, unrest broke out in Ferguson, Missouri after the shooting death of a black U.S. citizen, Michael Brown, at the age of 18 by a police officer, Darren Wilson. Yeah, the Ferguson riots, when they burned down their own communities because they didn't get their way. So, yeah. Crazy stuff. We got another weather one, 2015, 110 degrees or Fahrenheit or 43 Celsius in Apalachicola in Florida, breaking the state record of 109 degrees Fahrenheit set in 1931. Wow. Here we go, 2015. What do we got, Sir King?
Google announces its restructure as Alphabet, a holding company with Google, YouTube, Android, and Chrome as subsidiaries.
Yep, and that's also when they changed the official company motto of Google from "Don't be evil" to "Do the right thing." Do the right thing by who is the question,
Well, that's always the question.
Yeah, but no, seriously, Google, their actual motto as a company was "Don't be evil."
I never heard that.
Yeah, no, their legitimate motto, like as a company, was "Don't be evil." And then when they did this, because how companies like to rebrand themselves, like it's the same thing as euphemistic language. You change the word, somehow magically in the human brain, it changes what the company is.
Oh, words are powerful.
Yeah, like. So now Google is owned by Alphabet, which Alphabet is run by all the people who used to run Google. So now whenever Google does something evil, oh, it's not Google, it's Alphabet. Oh, don't blame us, it's them. It's the same people. It's just, different names. They just added another layer of complexity for confusion.
What's their logo now?
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, but do the right thing by who? That's the question. Like, it used to be "Don't be evil." Pretty simple. Don't be evil. Cold hard, right on the slab, right there.
Well, same question. Who's determining evil?
Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. Evil is evil, But
some people were evil for not taking the vaccine. So.
Well, but doing the right thing is forcing people to do the vaccine.
Yeah, well, same.
So do the right thing by who?
You can make the same thing out of both slogans.
Yeah. But one is a lot easier than the other, is what I'm saying.
Again,
Yeah.
words matter.
You're true. True. Ghost here is saying thoroughbred racing. Darren Go won against the favorite cigar. Okay, so it was horse racing. Thank you.
Okay, there you go.
You know, Ghostery is awesome with her fact
There you
checking
go.
and everything. Like, thank
Hoorah,
you very much.
let's have a shout out.
Hell yeah. 2016. What else do we got?
18-year-old Australian Kyle Chalmers creates huge upset when he swims.
When he swims a junior world record 47.58 to win the blue ribbon men's 100-meter freestyle gold medal at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. All right. And anybody like who wasn't looking, like I picked it up because King's phone rang, so you know we just
Yeah, I got that. I was wondering what that was.
yeah. 2017, 100-year-old fruitcake by Hunley and Palmer is deemed almost edible after being
Almost edible.
after being discovered in a hut used by Captain Scott's expedition in Antarctica. Wow. So they brought a fruitcake with them on their expedition.
It's almost edible.
Almost edible. I mean,
Just for the record, homemade without the gooey crap on top. I love fruitcake.
oh, I loved fruitcake too.
So
You know?
I know we're weird.
Yeah. Let's see here. Right back to King, 2017.
2017 100-year-old fruitcake by
Next one.
Huntley and Palmer's.
Sorry.
Is it the
Scientist.
wrong one?
The scientist one.
Scientists study identifying nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide deficiency, major causes of miscarriages and multiple birth defects, published in the New England Journal of Medicine.
Ah.
I don't know what that means, but it
So,
sounds bad.
so NAD, it's some kind of it's something
Yeah.
that's usually in our diets, and you know how I go off about
Yeah.
Monsanto GMOs and
Yeah,
Bill Gates
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that
sure
jazz.
do.
So there, 2017 recent history, like this is causing miscarriages
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
and what have I been saying about Bill Gates as being a strong proponent of population control. Well, he controls our food. Now we're having miscarriages. Put the pieces together and see what's happening, people. So.
I believe it's true. I believe Bill Gates is the largest farm owner.
Oh,
of
definitely.
land.
Oh, definitely. Well, because between him and his, he owns Monsanto to some degree, and Monsanto owns all of our crops. Every seed that's used is theirs, and it's genetically spliced with Agent Orange. That's why I refuse to buy anything affiliated with Monsanto, because I don't want to eat poison. So. 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump declared opioid addiction a national emergency, which it very much is. And China is,
Yeah.
big on sending us opioids, and they're trying
Now,
to kill us.
Fentanyl, is that an opioid? I don't think so.
I think it
I've
is.
never heard it related to that, but it may be. I mean,
I
I know
think
so little about drugs.
Fentanyl, an opioid. I think it is.
Opioid.
I'm misspelling horribly. Similar to other opioid analgesics, fentanyl produces effects such as relaxation, euphoria, pain relief, sedation. So it is an opioid.
It's similar to it, but it's because
Well-
I think it's synthetically made in a lab.
Yeah. But it still acts
Yeah.
as one.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. I didn't know that. That's really good to know.
Yeah, fentanyl and opioid overdose prevention. So,
Okay.
I would argue it is an opioid. If not, at least it's opioid adjacent.
Yes.
So,
that I'll go 100% with.
yeah. This next one, the one after that actually is the one that raised my eyebrow. But what do we got here? 2018?
2018 anti-government protests begin in Bucharest, Romania, with over 400 injured in clash with police.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's recent.
Yeah. We got another one here from Doja Cat.
2018 Doja Cat self-releases her novelty single "Moo" on YouTube, goes to become viral internet meme.
I've never heard of any of this.
Moo?
Moo.
No, me neither. But I'm not music inept of today's music at all.
Yeah. Well, neither am I. Like, there's so much crap going on and everything. So, does anybody know about this? What is this moo? Like,
I have no clue.
huh?
It's a
And
single.
I've
We
been
know that.
pretty up with the memes.
She
so
released
I
a
don't know.
single moo.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just see.
Moo?
Doja Cat.
Moo hoo.
Moo hoo. And just look. Doja Cat moo me. Let's see if I can find anything. Oh, what the hell? What is this?
What?
Moo is for a cow and
Well,
there's a bird.
obviously, but yeah. But she's in a cow print thing. She has fries up her nose, and here's a video. There's. I only listen to real music. Also made moo moo moo. So
I've never
I
seen
take
this.
it that she just made a song of just cows mooing.
I don't know. Or is she a vegetarian mocking beef and cows? I don't know.
You know what? Let's let's
You're
look
gonna
this
subject
up.
us to this, are you?
Well, I gotta know. So let's get rid of the meme part. Doja Cat moo official video. What is this? I've never heard of this. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay, that's enough of that. Wow!
That's annoying.
Yeah, but then they brought
I
in
wasn't
big
even watching
mommy
the stream.
milkers,
Oh
you
my
know?
god, that's annoying.
What the
Jesus.
hell?
I didn't even see that part.
You didn't see the giant voluptuous tits?
God, I'm too old.
Wow.
It's official. I'm too damn old.
Wow!
I saw her
Wait.
dressed like a cow.
But it was right
What
there on the
tit?
screen, giant anime titties. Just,
Oh, no,
The
my God.
jiggle physics.
Well, no, that's not a cow.
wow.
That I
Wow.
got.
Huh. What else do we got here? 2018, evidence of 1 million Uyghurs being held in counter-extremism centers in China presented to the UN Committee on Human Rights. Yeah, and they just ignored it. You know?
What a
So,
surprise.
Yep. 2018 as well, a landmark case against weed killer Roundup. San Francisco court awards groundsman Dwayne Johnson. What?
The actor?
Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock?
This is spelled differently though.
Oh,
This
okay.
is Dwayne, not Dwayne.
Okay.
But that, yeah, I'm thinking.
D. Wayne, okay.
Dwayne, 289 million against Monsanto for giving him terminal cancer. Well, I was just talking about Monsanto, you know, like.
Yeah, he'll never get that money.
Well, no,
Yeah.
he got it. San Francisco awarded
Well,
him.
then they awarded it to him. Did
Yeah.
he get it?
Oh, that is a good question. Oh, wow.
It's only the beginning.
Yep,
Round 1.
yep. Farts.
15 rounds to go. And he'll never live that long.
Yeah. Turkish lira fell dramatically after U.S. President Donald Trump announced tariff increasing on Turkish steel and aluminum, or as the British say, aluminium.
Yeah.
Oh.
They must have been dumping on us.
Yeah. And we also have U.S. ground crew member steals an Alaskan airplane from Seattle Tacoma International Airport, flew over an hour, chased by military jets before fatally crashing on Ketron Island. Whoa. I did not hear about any of that. That's
No.
crazy. Oh, hey, King, you get to take the I guess this will be our what's the word? Darwin Award of the episode 2019.
2019.
Which one?
71.
Oh. 71 people died trying to siphon gas from an overturned tanker that explodes in Morogoro region, Tanzania.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
What the hell?
How do you die siphoning? Do they think
No.
I'll just swallow it
Well,
and piss
no,
it later?
it exploded.
Oh, okay.
They were there trying to siphon gas, and it was
Gotcha.
overturned. And something must have happened. I guess one of them threw a cigarette or whatever, and it killed, and it blew them all up. 71
That's
people.
not funny.
Well, it's sad, but it's hilarious because they're stupid, you know, like. But then again, like, you know, how many people in Tanzania know about gas being flammable? Not to shit on Tanzania's education or lack thereof, but you know they're not really known for that. You know, am I right? Like, am I wrong?
Unknown.
Unknown. I don't know the Tanzania education system,
Might be really good.
but I mean, like, hell, in our country, the United States, 7% of people believe chocolate milk come from brown cows. So,
It doesn't?
well, you're not from our country. You're Canada.
Oh.
I was
okay.
gonna.
Kick me in the nuts. I don't care.
Well, I mean, like, you are Canadian, so I mean, you
True
do
and true.
you do occupy a different bracket. So,
An elevated bracket, I might add.
well, geographically, I guess.
Spiritually, knowledge, all of the above.
All
and
right.
physical.
Uh-huh. Okay, honk. Like,
Honk. What are we? Because we got geese.
no, well, Canadian geese, mind you. But
Exactly.
no, the honking. You know, when they took away the truck drivers' bank accounts. And
Oh,
all
the
that stuff.
honking. Was that what it was called? The honking?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
made that,
yeah.
You made that up. I've never heard it.
You know what? I'm gonna look at this
Come
up right
on.
now. The
Honking?
honking.
I mean, it was horrific, but
The honking. Oh, Mount Honkin? No, honkin. Hokin.
nah, you made
No,
it up.
honk. I spelled it wrong. The honkening. Here we go. The honkening. Oh well, that's Futurama. Oh, here we go. Trudeau versus the honkening.
Oh man, you're
So
right.
it is a thing.
Oh,
I know what I'm talking
man.
about. Come on.
What a great name, the honking.
Yeah. Well, because
It's
like
horrific,
you know,
but-
the whole process was he started honking their horns.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it was called the honking. And actually, I think they imposed a fee. If any truck driver honked their horn, they pay an immediate legal
Oh,
fine.
they did. They attacked the bank accounts of the people.
Oh,
from,
yeah.
From the families.
And
at
anybody who
home.
helped them and
It was
everything.
horrific. You
So-
talk
so-
about
so come again?
Government overstepping.
So come again about Canada being so superior.
I can't say. I can't. It doesn't mean it can't be ruined. Anything can be ruined.
Yeah, it can. Oh, you know what? Take this next 2019. This is a big one. An absolute big one.
Honking. I love it.
Yeah.
2019 monsoon flooding in southern and western India kills at least 150, 40 dead in Kerala state, and 100,000 in emergency relief camps.
Jeez.
That is pretty big, but that's not the one I was talking about. But still, like, you know, that's crazy. Like, that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of rain.
But financier is the one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, 2019 financier Jeffrey Poop Butt person
Epstein.
sucks. The Epstein guy
Yep.
found dead of apparent suicide in his jail cell in New York while awaiting trial for sex trafficking charges.
Hey, where's the
You know,
client list? I want to know where
yeah.
that is, you know?
You know, that is so full of holes and just where did the guard go and all of that stuff. And, oh, man. You can't tell me it's suicide. Sorry. That was some very powerful people not wanting to get information out.
Yep.
That's one for the ages.
Yep. Yeah. Dude, like, you know, dude, do you have any idea the amount of, like, catastrophic events in the past half decade we've gone through? Like, major historical, world-changing happenings almost on an everyday basis?
Well, that's a bit overstated.
Well,
but yeah,
almost
we
on
got-
an everyday basis.
There's a lot of
you know?
stuff going on for sure.
Well, I mean, like, you know, I was just talking about this the other day, or earlier today. Like, you know, as it was said in that one Ryan George episode, it's 2020. Well, it's 2024 now, but you can set a state on fire. Nobody will be talking about it next week. Nobody's talking about the whole, you know, Trump assassination attempt. You know, nobody's talking about Lahaina.
Well,
Nobody's talking about East Palestine in Ohio or whatever. Nobody's talking about the fires that started simultaneously up in Canada that polluted the air up in New York. Like, how many things do I have to list that we're not talking about? We are in media overload here, people.
A buddy of
You
mine
know?
from the gym was up in Niagara Falls and all that.
Niagara Falls.
Slowly, I
I'm sorry, I had to. What were you saying?
Step by step. You started, gotta finish it.
Inch
by inch.
I
gave him a rough
ready.
Hey, you started. You
Why
have
not?
to finish
You
it.
said the words. You started it. Anyway, what were you saying?
Not Laurel and Hardy. That's tip.
Well, I completely derailed you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was up in Niagara Falls during those whole fires, and it was a
Oh,
mess.
yeah.
Hard to breathe, everything.
Uh-huh. 2019 as well, rebel forces for the UAE-backed Southern Transitional Council took control of the key part of the Aden in Yemen civil war. All right. We also have Typhoon Lekima made landfall in Xinjiang province, China, killing at least 32 with 1 million evacuated. How can you evacuate 1 million people? Holy crap. I can't imagine.
I don't know.
yeah.
Try to get on the freeway.
Oof.
Good luck. Gridlock.
Well, that's just how China is.
Yeah.
Like, 2020, Hong Kong tycoon Jimmy Lai was the most high-profile figure arrested in Hong Kong under its new security laws. Yeah, wasn't he like anti oppression and all that stuff,
Well,
and they made him disappear or something?
Yeah, they were under the rule of Great Britain for a long time, and then they gave it back to the Chinese, and they had 50 years supposedly. In about 35 years, they decided to take it back, and of course, he was looked at as the bad guy and disappeared or whatever. I don't know what finally happened.
Well, no, this is 2020. Remember all the riots in 2019 and all that stuff, and then COVID came out and they suppressed everything.
Yeah.
How interesting how everything played out in favor of the CCP. Yeah. We also have a rare storm, a rare windstorm in 2020. Derecho hit the U.S. Midwest, flattening cornfields, leaving hundreds of thousands without electricity, killing 2 people. I don't remember that.
No,
King,
it's not something you're going to hear unless you're in the Midwest.
King, do you remember a crazy windstorm 4 years ago?
No.
Huh. Okay. This next 2021, another Darwin something. This is hilarious. You take it.
I Am Legend screenwriter Akiva Goldsman tweets, "It's a movie. I made it up. It's not real." Amid rumors COVID-19 vaccines could turn people into zombies, as in the film.
Oh my God. So yeah, like the whole thing, the premise of I Am Legend is people were getting vaccines from some disease that was coming out, and then it turned them into those zombies.
Yeah.
So then people were like, "Oh my God," like people in sorry to say, my corner of the conspiratorial realm, anti, vaccine and all that stuff, saying, I never went that crazy, but I do believe, that.
Well, look what happened with the radio program War of the Worlds.
Oh yeah.
Where they were constantly telling you this is a script.
Yeah.
People still bought into it. Havoc.
Yeah.
Pursued.
2021 as well. Forest fires killed 65 people, including 25 soldiers in Algeria, in the Kabyle region during heat wave conditions. And we also have Governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, resigned amidst a sexual harassment scandal. Bye-bye! Good riddance to bad cheese. We don't want you, Cuomo. Piece of crap. Oh, him and his brother. Filth. 2022, former U.S. President Donald Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination at a disposition into his organization's business in New York's attorney's office. Now, I never followed any of that trial crap, but did this actually happen, or is this something she warned in to make him look even worse because our source is, without a shadow of a doubt, leftist? So are they putting this in here to make him look bad or something? Like,
read it again one more time.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment. I plead the Fifth. Against self-incrimination repetitively at a disposition into his organization's business by New York Attorney's Office.
He may have. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
But it is within the legal rights for him to do that. So
but
it
it's
wouldn't be
just
a bad thing. But I haven't.
I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm just saying
I have no idea. I don't even know why it's in there. That's kind of
anything the left can grab with their grubby little hands to make somebody look bad, even if it's like wildly out of context, they will. You
notice the trial he went in, found guilty. The whole one they just had.
The whole one where he got indicted and all that stuff.
Yeah, 34 counts, and the jury.
Well, didn't he got overthrown? Like he got thrown out or something, right?
It's still the actual certification of it, and
the validity,
and the and what they were going to send him to jail or not. What's that called? When the judge decides
charges,
not charges, but hasn't been formally done yet.
That's not surprising.
Well, there's a lot of suspicion and things that, without going into it here.
Indictment.
Well, no, it's the indictment, but it's the charges, and then what the judge, he's found guilty, and then the judge is going to say a sentence. Hasn't been done yet. So the actual certification and his sentencing haven't been done. And there's a possibility.
So the whole trial might have been invalid.
And it very well could be, and they're holding back. And I don't want to get into the weeds, but I was listening to this really intelligent lawyer. There's a potential of not only illegality, but a political illegality that can put the judge and the prosecutors all in jail if it were proven.
Now, see,
if it were proven. So I don't know why they've held back, because supposedly they're going to sentence him, before the Republican
National Republican Convention or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've postponed the whole thing and never brought it up again. So I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, as it's well known to everybody here and anyone who watches this show regularly, I am not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm not a Hillary supporter. I don't support any of this crap.
Well, it's irrelevant. I'm not even talking about who supports who. I'm just talking about legality.
But I hope all of that gets thrown out, just because, like, the left really needs to go. Like, both sides need to go, but first and foremost, the left. So.
Well, extremes are always bad in politics.
Yes.
Right and left.
Yep. Anyway, we got 3 more articles. King, if you want to take them, they're yours. Are you asleep? King? Did he die?
I don't know.
Is he moving? His camera's gone. Oh, I think his internet cut out. Okay. Well,
what else we got there?
All right. So, wait, wrong button. Hold on. There we go. 2023, a 24-hour approval was granted to 2 rival robotaxi services in San Francisco: Cruise, General Motors, and Waymo, Google. So self-driving cars for taxi services.
Apparently, there's a lot of them in San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh man, you will never get me into a self-driving car, ever. So. 2023 as well, Russia launched its first lunar mission in 47 years, Lunar 25, an uncrewed spacecraft to the moon's south pole from Vostochny and Cosmodrome. All right. And last but not least, and I was asking about these guys the other day, Virgin is still in the game. Richard Branson, and all that stuff. Virgin Galactic flew its first space tourist to the edge of space from Spaceport America in New Mexico. And
I think Virgin Atlantic Airlines is still very active.
Yeah, but is it still owned by Richard Branson? Didn't he sell it off? Did he sell off all of his crap?
I don't know.
But I know he sold off Virgin Airlines, I believe.
Virgin Atlantic is the airline.
Okay. But there's also isn't Virgin also like a telecommunications service?
He had Virgin Coke at one time. I'm sure that's gone completely.
Wow.
Yeah, he did all kinds of Virgin things. It started with Virgin Records, actually.
Huh.
He was very successful with that.
Yeah. But that shall be it for the show. Once again, please check the underbar in the description below for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Our link trees down there of different places we stream to, and all of our sources, for our history and various other things for whatnot. Check out the underbar. It's awesome. So for all of you, for all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And we also have Ghostery.
Connor.
Yep, and Connor. And of course, King's Refuge, valued co-host and everything.
The king is in town.
Yeah. Well, he's not here right now. It's his computer, thing, whatever. But, and of course, thank you very much for watching. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection. Rate 5 thumbs.